I've got two stories to tell you guys today. The first of those being that this video is actually supposed to be about Gorog Curvy, but after a few days of relentlessly banging my head into the wall, I decided to relive some old trauma. Like 3 years ago, I was live streaming and was given $200 to reach round 50 on all of the Exo Zombies maps. And so far, I have completed one of them. It's not like I've forgotten about it either, I swear. I probably spent over 150 hours trying to complete just Burger Town because it's the most vile, poorly designed, infuriating, downright dog shit map I've ever had the displeasure of playing. Terramale Dickass and Dare Unfun look like Renaissance masterpieces compared to Fat Fuck Bubby and his crocodile friend. But you know what you should be doing? Taking care of your balls, and that's where today's video sponsor Manscaped comes in. They kindly sent me their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra because trust me, I needed it. The package comes with a Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra for a great shaving down there experience with its dual skin safe blade, an upgraded trimmer blade, and interchangeable foil blade to get some extra bare balls. You can easily swap out the blades even in the shower because it's waterproof. The Lawnmower 5.0 also has a big ol' LED light on it to make sure you can see what you're shaving. Recharging is also super easy with a USB-C port and lithium-ion battery. The package also includes the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear trimmer for hairy dudes like me, and there's the combo of the Crop Smoother Ball Lotion and Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant to keep you smelling great all day. There's also free gifts like the Manscaped Boxers 2.0, which I've been wearing for a week because they are so comfortable. Join the over 10 million men who have already done so. Head to manscaped.com and get the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra today using code Rushin because it'll get you 20% off, free international shipping, and the 2 free gifts. Once again, 20% off, 2 gifts, free international shipping, manscaped.com, use code Rushin. I love balls, you love balls. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Let's start from the beginning though, because if you're anything like me, you haven't played this map in almost a decade. Just like any other map, it's a few rounds of shooty shooty stabby stabby until it's time to leave the spawn room and run for the 3D printer. Wall weapons are not going to cut it here because they're mostly terrible like all guns in Exo Zombies, and this map specifically gets hard quick, just like me. Even 5 seconds of not thinking about the game will get you killed, especially because on round 6 we're already starting with the most controversial part of this map's gameplay loop, rescuing survivors. Basically, you have to watch some beta male crawl out from underneath something and protect them as they very slowly and awkwardly walk to an area where eventually a helicopter will show up to rescue them. The entire time that you're doing this, zombies are trying to kill the survivor, and if any of them get nearby to it, this survivor will stop moving and try to awkwardly fight back with them. Or they'll just stop moving outright. If you do end up rescuing them, you're gifted with a free pack punch upgrade to one of your guns. That sounds really good until you realize every gun can be upgraded 20 times, so one is pretty useless. And if you fail to rescue the survivor, then all the power gets shut off on the entire map and you have to turn each of them on individually again, and your exosuit is useless for 60 seconds, which is a big deal later on. I actually didn't know for the longest time that you could actually fail the survivor and not end your game. I just assumed they ended your game because like all other things in zombies, usually if you fail it then it's over. Right after that, I finally got my exosuit, and now we're into the map's second biggest annoyance. There are special rounds where these fart zombies spawn in. If they hit you, you're infected and have 60 seconds to make it to a cleaning station or you take it down. When you are infected, every single time that you get hit takes 3 additional seconds off of the timer. Hopefully you guys have noticed by now, but Burger Town is not a small map and there is only 1 cleaning station on the whole thing. So if you get infected in an area that's far away and then get slapped a few times while running through the really small sewer hallways, there's a good chance of taking it down. That happened to me a lot, especially later in games where my guns are hitting them with thoughts and prayers and literally nothing else. After that, you literally get 1 round to breathe and grab Juggernog before the map's giant boss zombie shows up to fist your ass. This dude is a beast and has an insane amount of health for being a round 10 boss. But luckily there is a secret where on the Burger Town building itself there is an orbital missile strike trap for 500 points. It's pretty much a guarantee to kill him, but shout out to Steve's world record game on this map from like 8 years ago for teaching me that. This boss then periodically shows up I think every 10 rounds from here on out, but he literally is never an issue for me because I can just use the orbital missile strike and it kind of takes care of him every single time. For as much as I have been complaining, there is one big bright spot I want to highlight: the Magnetron, aka the microwave hot pocket gun. As much as it's a meme, the Magnetron is literally a microwave gun that heats up the zombies until they explode, which is extremely metal. And it's also simultaneously one of the best ideas for a wonder weapon ever. At some point in Black Ops 6, they should rework the idea and have it not be on a map that makes me wish I was getting microwaved by myself, but really, I want them to try this again because it's so cool. Oh, and in the background, you'll probably have noticed that I needed to leave the area of the map that I was in, and that's because every few rounds, huge areas of the map are arbitrarily cut off by toxic gas that lasts for an entire round. If you walk into it, you die no matter what, because Burger Town hates fun. Do you remember me complaining about the toxic zombies like 2 minutes ago? Well, on round 14 with basically no points to my name, I got infected by them and only had 30 seconds to reach the cleaning area. Running around the shortest way to the cleaning area wasn't going to do it because I didn't have the 2,000 points that it cost to open the door, and the long wait took way too long to get around to, so by the time I did get 2,000 points, the timer was over and I took it down. This one just feels particularly bad because I don't even feel like I screwed up here, it just felt like the map kind of fucked me over. It feels like when your older brother kicks you in the face and you just can't fight back because he's so much older and bigger. Downs like that in zombies just make me not want to play a map. Does that happen to anybody else where it just feels like, okay, I didn't even do anything wrong here, it just felt like the map kind of hates you? My saving grace is that in Exo Zombies, taking it down doesn't take away all of your perks actually, so I was able to get back up and recover because I still had Juggernog. And yes, I'm calling it Juggernog because I refuse to call it Exo Health. Then on round 17, another survivor showed up, but this one was easier because my 60-second rice gun is able to stun lock the zombies if you quickly tap the trigger over and over again. That's not going to work forever, but for now it is nice to have. And this is actually the section of the video where I was going to talk about what the world record high round is on Burger Town and why it's so hard. I even mentioned Steve's world record earlier, but when I actually looked it up, it was actually beaten 12 days ago, which is kind of crazy for Exo Zombies because it feels like nothing ever happens on that game. So the new world record is around 146, but it still looks like as much fun as pouring bleach into your eyes. To summarize, guns are basically useless after round 40 because Frozen TV Dinner Gun doesn't deal enough damage to kill more than a few zombies before it runs out of ammo. The other high-powered guns like the Stealth Cauterizer, Mayhem Rocket Launcher, and the S12 shotgun have the same issue. And outside of pack punching and just swapping your guns out of the 3D printer over and over again, there's not really any good ways to get ammo. I feel like in Exo Zombies for some reason, I get a lot less drops than I do in normal Treyarch games. I don't know why, but it always feels like ammo is really scarce. Even pretty early on in the game at like round 30, I'm struggling for ammo and needing to use traps just to make it through rounds. Anyone who's played Exo Zombies for high rounds probably feels this pain, but it feels pretty universal across all the maps, not just this one. Now that I'm thinking about it, none of the maps on Exo Zombies have a one-hit kill wonder weapon. Imagine paying 15 bucks to play a DLC and it immediately kicks you in the dick. Kind of makes me glad that we just don't have that system anymore, to be honest. While I was ranting, some of the more focused among you may have realized that my Soup Warmer gun and Cell 3 shotgun are now on Pack Punch level 25, even though I said it could only be upgraded 20 times. Well, that's because if you're on Pack Punch 20 and rescue a survivor, the free upgrade you get will push it to 25. I don't actually have any idea if this does anything other than a small damage boost like the other upgrades, but it's still a cool little secret nonetheless. It's also really wild how I somehow haven't even talked about the strategy yet for this high round because there's just so much other stuff to talk about. By watching some world record games and playing close to 100 matches, I found something that works for me. Basically, I hang out near the Burger Town area on normal rounds and run around the building using my guns plus the orbital strike trap. Ideally, I try not to jump very often because the EMP zombies who disable your exosuit for a few seconds literally give me Vietnam flashbacks. It's actually so bad, so like just nah, I'm good. When the pyrocynical fart zombies come around, I head into the sewer area because I basically use the same strategy there of running around trying to desperately dodge zombies, but there's a trap down there where a giant alligator will jump out of the water and eat zombies, which is quite effective but a little bit slow. Personally, I think it's better to just stay down there during those sort of rounds because then I'm actually close to the cleanser and I don't need to worry about having the timer tick down and running through the hallways, and it's just much easier that way. This area is probably one of the more TikTok ADHD brain looking strategies in all of zombies because there's tons of stuff moving around and effects going on and it really is kind of overwhelming at times. And please ignore the large round jump that happened at some point in this edit. I was busy while recording this, so I got up, stopped recording, sat down, and forgot to record again for like 6 rounds. That actually happens way more often than I would care to admit. It probably happens like 50% of my videos. Weirdly enough though, for all my complaining about every mechanic in this map and Exo Zombies in general, this game specifically went really smoothly. That's probably because this was at the end of a 2-week binge where I played Exos like 7 hours a day trying to get this and Carrier completed. And now that I mentioned it, no, I did not complete Carrier because that map is actually somehow even worse than this one, but for a completely different reason. So to say I was locked in on this was kind of an understatement because I'm pretty sure my toaster would have been taking a bath with me if I failed after round 45. And hey, it might have taken me almost 3 years to complete 1 out of the 4 maps on one of these games, but progress is progress and I'm going to take that as a W. Round 51 was my ending round. I do hope you enjoyed. Click the buttons, hit the thing on the screen right now and shit. I love you. Go check out Manscaped. Bye-bye.